Hello and welcome to Barbershop Books Story Time with Alvin Irby. That's me. Today we have a cool, slow story for you today. Today's story is called If I Had a Sleepy Sloth. What's a sloth? Well, it's a type of animal. Let's take a close look. Sloths are a type of animal that like hanging out on trees, and they move very, very slowly. So, I wonder what this story is going to be about. In the story, I see a little girl and I see a sloth. Let's find out what happens in the story. This sloth belongs to me. And there's a little picture. You see it of the little girl? She's kind of relaxing too. And then there's a sloth. They're just hanging out on this tree branch. If I had a sleepy sloth, I wouldn't want a tiger. I think I'd like a horse. An elephant is far too loud, and we all know how loud elephants can be. They make sounds like this. Whoa. And much too wild, of course. Kangaroos are bouncy. Sharks are very quick. But I prefer a creature with a different kind of trick. And look, now the little girl in the story is telling us about all the animals that she wouldn't want or that she would want. Do you see the tiger, the horse, the elephant, the kangaroo, and there are the sharks? People always rush around. I want to stop and stare. Imagine being so relaxed that moss grew in your hair. Moss? That's like that green stuff that sometimes grows on like rocks. Have you ever saw a rock that had like fuzzy green stuff growing on it? Well, a lot of times that's moss. I had no idea that moss also grew on animals. Did you know that? Oh, if I had a sleepy sloth, I'd say, hey, what's the rush? Sit down. Relax, my furry friend. I'll give your hair a brush. And do you see what's happening in the story? There's, I think that may be the little girl's dad. He's putting clothes on the clothesline. Do you see it? And they have some really cool clothes. Like, I think this might be a sheet, but look how colorful it is. Would you want something like that on your bed? Or maybe it's a curtain for your windows. And then, hey, that's not clothes hanging on the clothesline right there. That's a sleepy sloth. But those are pants. So this little girl has lots of ideas for what she would do if she had a sleepy sloth. Sloths are good at gripping. I think their super skill is hanging from the branches, staying seriously still. Can you stay really, really still like a statue? Okay, I guess I don't know if I would be good at being a sloth. Let's see what happens next in the story. If I had a sleepy sloth, we'd watch the world go by from high up in the jungle bars. where the treetops meet the sky. You know what? Why do you think a sloth might like why do you think they might like playing in a park? Look at this. Look at this picture. Do you see the little girl and maybe her friends? They're all playing in the park. And then look, do you see the sleepy sloth? He's hanging out on the jungle gyms. How cool is that? Now I'm starting to wonder, would I want a sleepy sloth? I don't know. Would you want a sleepy sloth? They move so very slow. If I had a sleepy sloth, we'd walk, but not too fast. We wouldn't want to race because my sloth would finish last. So look, here's a picture of some animals crossing the street. Do you see the different animals? There's one, a turtle. And what is that? Oh, it's a snail. Do you see it? It's a pink snail right here. Here, let me see if I can zoom in. You see it? And there's more. And then last, what do we see? We see a sloth. And they move so slow that the little girl says that if they were in a race, the sloth would always come in last place. I don't think that would make the sloth happy. But you know who else wouldn't be happy? Look at all the cars that have to wait. They might have to wait a really long time before they can drive because they're waiting on the sloth, which moves very slowly. Let's see what else happens. Moths are very fond of sloths. They snuggle in their fur. Moths are a type of flying insect. I had no idea that they like to snuggle in the fur of sloths. If they ever tickled, do you think my sloth would purr? I didn't even know that sloths can purr. Oh my goodness, you are not going to believe where this little girl brought her sloth. Look, see the little girl? She's at the beauty shop and it looks like she's under a blow dryer getting her hair done. And she's reading. I love to read. Do you like to read? But look, the sloth went to the beauty shop. Oh my goodness. Sloths are not supposed to get their hair done. They're wild animals that are supposed to stay outside. Oh my goodness. Do you think the other customers in the beauty shop are happy about it? Well, look at this lady's face. She does not look happy at all. I don't think that she likes sloths coming to the beauty shop. And look at the guy who's doing the hair. Well, he even looks a little frightened or scared or maybe, I don't know. He's like, this is weird. Why is there a sloth in the beauty shop? Sloths are never sweaty. But if you got too hot, the local pool is very cool. We'd hang out there a lot. You know what? This little girl is taking her sloth everywhere. Do you see? All the little kids are happy, but the parents or the adults, they don't look so happy. It looks like they're all running away. Do you see this lady running? But the kids are cool. Look, someone's even getting out of the pool. You know what? It seems like maybe some of the other people don't like the little girl bringing her sloth everywhere. If you had a sleepy sloth, would you bring it with you everywhere that you go? I would probably take it a lot of places. If I had a sleepy sloth, we'd practice hide and seek. But sloths are so well camouflaged, I'd sometimes have to peek. Wow! Look at this. It looks like a big jungle almost, with lots of colorful, beautiful flowers and trees. Do you see the sloth? Do you see the sloth? It's right there. He's just hanging out. Sloth and I would eat our lunch while sitting in our tree. And only once a week, my friend would need to take a what? I wonder what he's going to take. Maybe a nap? Maybe? I don't know. Let's take a look. Look at this. The little girl has a cool treehouse. And look, it looks like there's a sloth in a bucket. That's super cool. So the sloth takes the bucket, and maybe the little girl uses the stairs to climb into the treehouse. And then look, the sloth and the little girl are having a glass of, well, that's not water because it's not clear. Maybe they're drinking juice. Do you think there's a thing called sloth juice? I don't know. Let's see. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened, but there are little kids who are laughing. Do you see them right here? They're laughing. But this guy, he doesn't look so happy. I'm not sure if he's angry, if he's shocked or scared. I'm not sure, but I can tell that something is going on with this guy. And there are even exclamation points. You see it? That means that something exciting probably happened. Maybe he saw the sloth. In our hidden hideaway, we'd never want to leave. The air would be so fresh up there, we'd close our eyes and breathe. Can you breathe with me? Close your eyes. I'm going to count to 3, and then we're going to breathe in really deep, and then we're going to breathe out really deep. Are you ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, guess what? That's exactly how the character in the story said that she would relax with her sloth. And look, here's a picture of the little girl. She's meditating in her treehouse, and guess who's joining her? The sleepy sloth. Well, because he moves super duper slow and he likes to be very still, I feel like a sloth would be really good at meditating. And look, they both look very peaceful. That's what meditation will do for you. Meditation is when you kind of sit really still and you focus on your breathing to help you relax. So, looks like the sloth and the little girl are doing some good meditating. For those of you who are just tuning in to Barbershop Books Storytime, today we're reading a story called If I Had a Sleepy Sloth. And this story is about a little girl who actually has, well, I don't know if she has a sleepy sloth or if she's just imagining that she has a sleepy sloth. But anyway, this story is about all the things she would do if she had a sleepy sloth. Oh, if I had a sleepy sloth, I'd have to take things slow. We'd hang out in a hammock. where we'd watch flowers grow. Flowers grow really, really slow, so they would have to wait there for a really long time. Have you ever heard of or seen a hammock? It's kind of like if you took like maybe a big sheet, and you tied it to two things, and it creates like a little bed that you can lay in or even sleep in. Here's a picture. Do you see it? See how it's tied between two trees, and the little girl and the sloth are both laying and relaxing in the hammock? One time, I was in the jungles of a country called Colombia, and we actually trekked through the jungle in Colombia, and one of the nights I slept in a hammock, except it was a little different because the hammock that I slept in, it had a net over the top of it so that insects like mosquitoes couldn't get in and bite you. So hammocks can be really cool. I hope you get a chance to lay in a hammock someday. Sloths are very smiley. They're never ever down because they take it easy. Plus, their faces cannot frown. They can't frown? Well, then what does a sloth do if they get sad or mad? I guess they just have to smile? Who knows? You know what I've noticed about the little girl in this book? She loves reading about sloths. Because on almost every single page, do you notice that she's been reading about sloths? And the other people in her family are also reading. Do you see their books? This one has a candle on it, and let's see what the other book has on it. It looks like a knight that's on a horse. That's kind of cool. Did you notice that? That the little girl had a book about sloths almost on every single page? That's cool. I like reading. Let's see what happens next. I wish I had a sleepy sloth to cuddle me to sleep. Then I would count 1,000,000 sloths instead of counting sheep. So usually when someone's trying to go to sleep and they can't, one of the things that people will do sometimes is that they'll imagine that they're counting sheep, and that will help them go to sleep. But this little girl says instead of counting sheep, she would count sloths. That's so weird or cool. My sloth would sing a lullaby and would close my eye, and I would close my eyes to dream of all the galaxies way up beyond our skies. So here's a little girl asleep, and she's saying that she would dream about sloths and about counting sloths. Do you see her cool hat? She has a hat that's at the end of her bed. It's kind of cool. All right. Oh, that's the end. That's the end of the story. And look what she's imagining. She's imagining that her and the sloth are hanging on the moon. Wow. I really liked today's story. If I had a sleepy sloth. Well, thank you so much for joining Barbershop Books Storytime. If you want to learn more information about Barbershop Books, please visit our website, barbershopbooks.org. You can also connect with us on social media at Until next time, bye.